Hi. So I wanted to do a read on Ivanka since I did Jared the other day. And I was basically like, okay, so is it true what I saw in the other read that she wants to take an offer and walk away from the White House? And this was the card that came up for her. Actually, it was like this and this. Yeah. So this was the card representing her, and this is exactly the card I saw in Jared's read that was covering him. That told me that she was saying, Jared, let's take this offer. Jared, let's go. So that, I mean, crazy validation that is correct. Tying into the other read on her, on Jared's read. So covered by what I see is he's just not ready, which the other read also said. And he's just like, no, not yet. She can't quite convince him yet to walk away. She thinks, we have enough, we made enough money. Sadly, I do think that she wouldn't have felt this way before, but they've sort of made hundreds of millions of dollars off of the presidency. And she's like, I'm kind of comfortable leaving now. And not to mention, she feels the wheel of fortune turning. You see here, this kind of perfect for them is this king and queen at the top. I mean, not that I really think they're a king and queen, but they sure think they are. And the wheel is turning, the hand is turning the wheel, and they're about to fall. And she is like, let's go now while we're still, not on our way down. Although I think it will surprise her if she ever tries to go back to whatever her world is, that how much of outcasts they are actually going to be in the real world. But she just figures, let's go now before it gets worse. So I was saying that I do, in the other one and in this one, I feel like there's not just her saying, let's go, but there's a deal for them if they walk away. I don't know what these forces of justice are that are saying, basically, we have stuff on you. And if you would, and your dad, it definitely ties into like Donald Trump. If you would walk away, we can protect Trump, we can protect the kids from these investigations, any future prosecution. It's like, I give you a little, you give us a little, and, hoping to get them to walk away peacefully and give them a deal for it. She is lately especially interested in this deal, and I see that also, well, two things. Well, she's been in quarantine. Okay. First, I'll say I believe that this world card is showing me like what it is that they have on her is connected to sort of this worldwide criminal network of money laundering and that sort of thing. But then I do also think that she's in her own world. She's been quarantined and for a couple weeks, and it's just had her thinking. I see here, I think that she has sort of been thinking out the plan of walking away, and I think that she even has, the paperwork. I believe there's something written up that says, these are the protections, this is the deal, you walk away, and everybody has to sort of follow these rules as far as what you're going to say moving forward to make it smooth for America. This is like her desire to dump the burdens, like her hope, this would be, walking away, but this is just getting, I can just feel the weight of all these burdens falling if she could get Jared to walk away and they take this deal. But here is what is coming in and stopping this flow from happening. The devil, I initially, when I saw this, weirdly thought of Bill Barr, which is also kind of interesting because justice, and he's like the head of the Justice Department or whatever. And I just felt like I like this voice, this kind of creepy voice that you would imagine this guy having, sort of like, don't worry, I took care of it. Whatever that means. Took care of whatever she, was trying to protect the family from. I feel such a sense of this investment that these kinds of people have in keeping Trump in power, because it's letting them get away with so many other things they've been wanting to get away with. There's just this feeling of like very tight control. And this is like also a card of like having people chained to this dark force, and that's sort of her. She's just chained. And you can also see, of course, Donald Trump in this. Just this means also just a stubbornness. And so obviously that's part of the situation here. Like, I'll never leave. I'm the president. I'll never go. And then this is also a card of addiction. And I did, when I read on Jared, and I didn't say this in the recording, but later I was thinking like what it is for him is like a gambling addiction, but to like giant deals. And I think I named the reading like the grand finale of money grabs. Like, he's just got this feeling of like, just like one more job, okay, 2 more jobs. Let me just get 2 more. I got this deal and this deal. Just let's stay a little longer. So like, there's sort of, she's also tied to that addiction to these giant money deals that Jared is into. So he's like not quite supporting her idea to leave. So we've got that, we covered that. And then in the end, I don't feel a strong ending to this. This card means losing the battle, but it also always looks to me like someone who's just like taking the swords. She's stealing something, but the card means, so I just to get clarity on it, I looked at the bottom of the deck at that point, and this is the card also of walking away. So, I mean, this card means losing the battle, having to give up, putting down the swords, resting. And like, this already does tell us that, she's being stopped from, the flow is not going anywhere. She's not getting out. And then I got a couple clarifiers on it, and I see this as, you got Jared there saying, I can give you more. I can get more. I can give you more. Almost like, all these people, they need something right now. I can get tons of money, and we can, not that he actually is caring about wanting to give, but, what I mostly stands out is like all this money. There's suddenly this pot of like $1 trillion from the government that's going out to people, and maybe he can make deals. And if you watch that reading, there's also another kind of deal that I think he's sort of involved in, having to do with the oil industry. And then I see her just having to say, okay, I'll wait a little bit longer. And this sort of her just maybe in her compromise being like, I'll just take a smaller position and I'll just step away. She's just not kind of into it anymore. And so it's like not a strong ending here. And like a lot of readers, they see these different possibilities for Trump exiting. And then that can change, like he's going to exit, and it can change like any day, like and shift. And I just feel like this was a possible exit point that has been like stopped. And that's like, oh, that's too bad. But I do remember one reader saying like, I think it was Marie My Table, and she had like a dream about it. And it was like, either he goes early and gets a deal, okay? Or he stays longer and actually loses that deal, and therefore he actually gets to get like prosecuted for all the things that he could have left and gotten out of in that deal. So that's kind of interesting. It's like making me think of that right now. It's like, oh, what a bummer he's not taking the deal to walk away peacefully. But then, it could give us hope that it might be more satisfying in the long run, even if we have to like have him around a little while longer. That he's not going to have, like, if they do leave, whether it's like, could be the 25th, could be another impeachment, could be the 2020 election, that if he has given up his opportunity to take this deal and walk away with protections, that he is going to actually have to face consequences that he otherwise would have gotten away with. Like, we would have gotten rid of him sooner and like, okay, fine, let's move on. But like, there might be some satisfaction in watching all of them, not just him, but like the kids, all of them. They don't take a deal. They I mean, it's going to be boom, 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 boom investigations, and you know, you can in lawsuits and all of these things that are going to finally like that they're finally going to have to face. So anyway, that's my read. Let me know if you saw anything in these cards that you think is different. I'd love to hear it. And if you liked it, go ahead and if you would hit the thumbs up, that helps people find my channel. And I'd love for you to subscribe and get more of my videos. I hope to see you in the next one, at the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.